Hi guys, welcome back. So finally we're doing the first interior detail on the AMG GTS. So I've took the car over, and again I'm going to do what I always like to call a takeover detail. So again, the first wash has already been done. It's part of the kind of the paint inspection. Have a look where the contaminants are, where they aren't. Same here. So I've been driving the car for around a week. So again, I asked them not to clean the interior prior to takeover. And the reason is, again, sometimes these local valeters, you don't know what chemicals they're using, if they're using the cheapest trade available product, you know, high dilution ratio, all that sort of stuff. Now, within this car, you've got some of the nicest materials that can be within a car. So for this reason, I don't want just a typical kind of hand wash or a mobile valeter to come in and be like, smash this whole thing with an APC 10:1 kind of dilution ratio when you've got leather, Alcantara, you know, I mean, Napa leather everywhere. So it's one of these things that I want to do. So again, you've never seen me do an interior detail. Some details would go deeper than others. Just for example, in this, you could probably take the seats out, wet vac everything, but this is a very low mileage example. It's probably not being used in the way that we're going to use it, as in a daily driver. So a deep clean will be enough. To rip the seats out in this might be a little bit of an overkill. So I'm going to quickly show you how I like to do it. As I said, it's my takeover detail, so it's going to be a de-dust. Again, YumInterior is going to be used all over this, and I'm going to talk you through the products and the madness as and when we do it. So again, the first thing you want to do is I'm going to take all the mats out. I'm going to give this car a complete hoover. Again, assess if there's any staining. If there is, we might have to get the wet vac out. If there isn't, again, I'm going to show you kind of the process behind the madness. So let's get cracking. So I just wanted to jump in real quick and show you one of the best tools I probably ever bought. It's not the most expensive either, so it's one of these. So basically what this is a little attachment that goes on the end of your hoover. So again, obviously a normal hoover, you can kind of put in the crevice tools, all that sort of stuff. Now, when you take all those bits out, you just plug this in, and on the end of this wire, you can get little kind of attachments, okay? So stuff like this. And basically what this is anywhere in the vents, so you can brush it. So obviously, mind you, the suction's really good because it's a shorter pipe and a narrower pipe. So the suction is really good. And so in between the vents, when you're doing this, you can smash this under the seats. So almost like a pull through kind of piece of string. So you put it in and you can kind of maneuver it and stuff. So I'll put a link in the description for this as well. So this is actually off Amazon. It comes with a kit. There's like little crevice tools, obviously little soft attachments. Obviously the camera's focusing on my face, so I can't focus on this. But yeah, it's a really cool piece of kit. I'm going to show you again how we use it here, but it's for, I think it was 12 quid, 20 quid, something like that. It's probably one of the best little inventions you can get. So guys, on to one of the most important parts of the detail is to actually agitate and bring up the dirt from the Alcantara, the leather, the plastics. And this is why, as you can see now, we're going to use one of our soft interior detailing brushes, and this is to kind of open up the pores of primarily the leather and the plastic. And this is where the lather from the Yum interior is going to be agitated via the brush, and you're going to then scoop it up gently while everything is encapsulated within the foam, and scoop the dirt and the contaminants away from the high traffic areas. As you can see, the wheel is going to be the worst. So as an experiment, I'm just doing no agitation with the brush, and we're going to spray Yum interior directly onto the towel, as you can see, and we're just going to do a general wipe and just to see the amount of dirt that is going to be pulled up. And as you can see by the towel, it is absolutely horrific. So this is just your general oil and the things that are contained within your hands, and that was just picked up by just a simple spray and wipe application. Now the secondary test is to see the true power of the Yum interior. This time we're going to be putting it directly into the brush, and we're going to be just doing again of the same area. So this should be clean, theoretically, because you have just wiped the area with a very potent cleaner. Obviously I know that this is not the case, and because the top part of the steering wheel is where you mainly hold the wheel with. So again, with having to agitate the wheel, you're going to see now that the product is starting to form very nicely, and this is where the true power of a product like this comes in, because you're actually warming up the pores in essence of the leather. So again, see, there's the dirty side, this is the clean side, and you're going to see just the level of contaminants that are going to be picked up from in essence agitating your skin. If you're, for example, in a sauna, your pores are going to open up, and just look at the difference here. This is exactly the same thing we've just cleaned, and just look at the level of dirt. Okay, that's sacrificial layers you see there, and on the opposite side is just really bad, really bad, and this is years of ingrained dirt into the wheel pores. So we're just continuing now onto the rest of the center part of the wheel and the other bits that we haven't cleaned. Now you can see the brush is actually touching all the plastics, all the leathers, all the aluminium in trays or inserts, and also in behind the wheel. Don't be afraid to agitate the brush over the electric components, because you're actually not putting liquid directly into the electrics, you're putting it directly into the brush. So as long as you keep flipping your towels, as you can see there, I've just got onto a clean side, because you're about to see just how much dirt I'm about to pull off again off the wheel. So it's very important not to transfer the dirt from the clean side onto the dirty side, so vice versa. So just make sure the lather is scooped up fairly quick, because this is where primarily the dirt sits after you've lathered it up, and you're about to see just how much dirt lives on a towel. So again, we're on the driver's seat now. In this instance, I might just pre-saturate the area a little bit, just let it dwell. As you can see, I'm not pressing the trigger fully like this. I'm just doing little sprays, just so it doesn't atomize all over the car. Again, I pre-prime the brush. So as I was saying about the leather, as you're agitating the leather, because it's very porous, what you're doing is you're releasing kind of the dirt, the ingrained dirt from the pores. But please don't forget as well, this is not real leather. So a lot of it is factory coated. So it's almost got a clear coat, a bit like your car. So when you're considering putting on kind of leather treatments, just remember a leather conditioner on modern cars is actually fairly useless. However, leather sealant, so sealants and stuff like that, is actually a really good thing. So a little bit like a car wax or paint sealant, you can do the same thing on your leather, and that way, that's when you can actually truly protect it. But obviously the driver's seat being the highest traffic area possible, we will see how much pulls off. So again, I just like to scoop it. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. Again, so I'm just going to flip the towel. You don't want to kind of push the dirt back in that you've just scooped up, so keep flipping the towels often. Now again, the maintenance of this or any other car is on your, let's see again, so you've just picked up 2 lots of dirt, so you just keep flipping the towels now. Again, see, dirty, just flip it back around. So the maintenance side of this is what's going to happen is next week or whenever I clean this next, it's going to be a simple case of we're going to spray it onto a utility towel like this, and then just give it a wipe, just wipe the entire interior down. So again, we're going to make sure we always use clean sides of the towel. Don't worry if it runs a bit onto a clean area. What you're going to do then is you're just going to quickly give it a wipe anyway. Oh. So this is not a tutorial on how to clean interior. This is how I clean my interior. This is very, very effective. Obviously the maintenance side and obviously the deeper side. If you are going to do it every 6 months, I like to kind of do it right before summer, so the winter kind of grime is being pulled off, and just after summer, so around this time of year, early November time, late September, something like that. And that's just, you know, all the grease and stuff you get from the summer months, and that just kind of breathes the leather out. So again, as you can see, the brush is nice and splayed because I keep kind of pushing it under pressure, but I take a little bit of product into there again, so this way I don't have to kind of overspray into the rear glass. And I just touch anything now. It's plastic trims, grooves, just basically a brush will get somewhere where your hand particularly may not. So again, a clean towel, just give it a scoop up. Yeah, this interior is disgusting. If I wasn't about all this YouTube life, I would have cleaned it the first day I got it. But again, I've been trying to give you guys what you've been asking for, is a dirty interior, and even this is not the dirtiest interior you'll ever see on YouTube, but it's disgusting for my standards. So to me, this is a dirty interior. So again, I like to just scoop up any of the excess foam from the cracks. It doesn't really matter if you do miss a little bit. Now, as I said, if you've got a little bit of overspray onto your kind of bottom seat, just give that a wipe. And let the leather air dry. I like my interiors to be very simple. Or I like to clean my interiors in a very simple way. A couple of towels and human interior and I'm done. But again, I realize some of these instances you just need a little bit more bite, a little bit more agitation power. There's something quite therapeutic about just not talking sometimes and just detailing. Into the handle. So in a normal interior detail, I'll probably go through about 6 to 7 utility towels, but in a detail like this, I'll probably do double, so 12 to 14 towels. It's not overkill, it's actually common sense because you don't want to push dirt back into the clean areas. So you just keep twisting the towel as much as you can, hence why obviously you use a few more towels. But as I said, when you do this again in the future, you just use a handful of towels, just a quick wipe down. Obviously the glass is still to the 2-3 towel method. Again, so because I don't want to get it on the glass, the tight areas, I'm going to just do with a towel. So the final bits, what we're going to get stuck into is, I always leave the kind of the nooks and crannies until last. But like I said, you know, if usually obviously you would fold your towels up into quarters so you can kind of use more sides, but that's when you're doing straight, like kind of big panels. So in this, obviously, because there's a lot of knobs everywhere and little twisty things, so that's going to be impossible. So what I recommend is just put your finger around it and a few sprays at a time and just keep moving so you can get into all the nooks. Now, here's a tip that I found out by just doing a lot of cars, is these gloss black bits. So you got the control module, the little twisty dial. They are a gloss black material. Now, again, this isn't staining it or it's not streaking it. Now, if on some cars you have like a huge, you know, center section of glass. We actually recently we did a Porsche Taycan, and that had the whole center section here and here, and in fact it was here mainly, which was kind of this gloss black material. Now, if you're finding that there's too much of it, so obviously by the time you get back around to it, it's already dried and you're having issues, the best tip I can give you is, if you use, so this was kind of Kelly's find, but if you use YumGlass on these areas, it's amazing because it's actually got a surfactant in it, so it's not a typical cleaner you find within a glass cleaner. So and obviously because it still has the acting, like the fast acting properties of a glass cleaner when it just flashes off. And this is where a big gloss black panel will actually give you the advantage of kind of doing that without running any kind of issues. Now, if obviously like you are here, you can just kind of wipe on, wipe off, and it just looks perfect. But yeah, that's a tip that I found works usually best on larger pieces. Now the cup holders, my least favorite part to do. Now if you notice that I only put half a spray. I put half a spray in there. So I actually don't want it to foam as much in here. So I'm just moving the product around more than anything. Because again, it never gets as dirty as other places, and because there's so many tight areas, you don't want it to be a high kind of foaming action where you won't be able to get it out. So just a little bit of movement is all you need here. Yeah, look at that. Now I'm going to bring you into a secret weapon in a second. A leather secret weapon. There we go, beautiful. Now again, see I've picked up a lot of kind of stuff in the nooks there. Just take a, what's this now, towel number 5, 6? Like I said, you do get through them. But it's not to worry though, because again, you just put them in for a good wash and they wash right out. That's the beauty of microfiber. Final bit. In this case, you can use a quarterly folded towel. Wipe it down. Beautiful. Okay, flip it to buff. On certain materials, so this material where I've just closed it up, it's that, I don't know if you can hear, it's really smooth, whereas if you rub it upon, like it's more rough, the leather is, well, it sounds rougher, whereas this, it's like a satiny textured wood or plastic or whatever it is. People always get thrown up on that. It's just easy, just be quick, work in a small area, so you wipe it on and you immediately wipe it off. Whereas on leather, you can just wipe it on and just kind of just walk away. In essence, it's really, really simple. But it's more of a de-dust. Now again, these areas where they don't get touched, you're looking, as I said, just to remove the excess dust that's obviously piled up when people have had their windows down and all that sort of stuff. But the high traffic areas of the steering wheel, the seats and stuff, the pedals, which we're gonna again hit with the YumInterior, it might just need a little bit more agitation. But there, I've just gone through another 3 towels, just on the center console itself. Clean leather is just amazing. It looks nice, it feels right. Oh, can't fit in here. So the final piece of the puzzle, what people hate doing most of the glass. Now it's very simple. I've got a very nice reach tool, and I'm going to use the 3 towel method. Now the minimum required is, I would recommend, is a 2 towel method. So the wet towel and the dry towel. But in this case, we're going to use a 3 towel method. The reason why I say 3 towels is because, as you see now, you've got the 1 towel, right? And that's going to be the mankiest, horrible towel imaginable. So again, I'm going to flick that to the side. Then you're going to get a 2nd towel to remove any streaks, residue that you've caused from the 1st towel. So it's picking up basically the glass cleaner. So put that to the side. And the 3rd towel, which again, this is kind of, I've been honing my process in for a long time now, so I've decided this is probably the best method, is in case the 2nd towel has missed something, the 3rd towel is your final kind of polishing of the glass, picking up of anything that's left. Now, there we go, boom. 3 towel method, really, really simple. And that just stops you chasing your tail. Now, if you're doing the side glass, so your driver's, passenger side, all that sort of stuff, I usually do the 2 towel method because you are still stood up, and you can see everything easier. When you're in a car, and obviously in a car like this where accessibility is even smaller than normal cars, especially when you're reaching here, you don't want to be potentially getting out the car and checking every 10 seconds. So the 3rd towel kind of eliminates that. Now, again, you can just reach with your hand. I'm tall enough to do this, but again, if you just have a reach tool, it's just slightly easier. It gets right into all the corners. There we go, look at that. So I don't know if you could see the streaking of the wetness that I'm causing from obviously towel 1. I don't know if that camera's picking it up, obviously. But then this, if you can't see it, you'll just see how quickly this evaporates now, which is gone. People here doing glass for one simple reason. They get out or they drive out and they just see horrific streaks. I mean, I vape personally in this car, so it's even harder for me technically to get it right because you're dealing with oils and all that sort of stuff that you get from the vaping juices. But with this kind of method, you're just eliminating everything. I mean, sometimes I will do the glass actually first. So I would sit here and you know, if the glass on my car, let's say I've gone on a massive road trip and it's just full of, I don't know, grease or whatever, I don't know. I would actually just kind of spray directly onto the glass. Yes, it's not the best method because you get a bit of overspray onto the dash, but I'm kind of putting heavy cleaner onto a glass and I'll probably let it sit for about 5 to 10 seconds. And now kind of eat anything, especially the vaping oils. And then I would just come in and just scrub it. Obviously, then you would follow up with doing the dash. And obviously, if you have got a bit of kind of a glass cleaner on there again, because we've got no harmful chemicals in ours, it will actually not cause any problem to the dash. So it just depends how you are, you know, doing it, how bad the glass is. But in this case, we're doing it directly onto the towel. I think that's still the best method, if I'm honest, because you're controlling the residue 100%. And there's no overspray anywhere within the car. There we go. Perfect glass. So while I'm here, towel number 1 comes out and does the rear view like this. Towel 2. Again, the 2 towel method on normal glass where it's easily accessible is just enough. The stuff where you have to be in a cramped position, I would recommend that 3rd towel. Really just, actually, it seems like you're wasting time, but you're actually saving time, rather than just repeating it loads. Now, I said I'm going to let you into a secret weapon. This is my secret weapon. We're developing a leather sealant. So it can only be applied, it's not a dressing basically, it can only be applied on leather, it's not no glossy stuff. Now, again, we've just done the leather to where, as you can see, it's now it's matte, so it's a matte finish. Feels nice, it's just very nice and smooth. Now the leather sealant, it actually, the way it's designed, as I said, it's kind of factory coloured and lacquered. So it's not your real kind of hide anymore like you would get in older cars. So the conditioner is kind of obsolete now on modern cars. Now, so we're going to feed the top coat. Now I've incorporated a leather smell into this. I mean, the leather smell is probably my all-time favorite. So we're going to feed the top coat. Now when it gets put on, as you could see, it actually, you'll think, oh God, it's adding a shine and stuff like that. It's none of that. It's obviously, while it's still wet, and what I like to do, there's 2 ways of applying this. Now, you can wipe it on, keep it on for 10 minutes and obviously buff off, but what I like to do is I like to actually put it on in small amounts, so just an even coverage like with most of our products. Less is more, and what you do then is I leave it on overnight, and it's going to obviously soak into the leather. Now 99.999% is there's going to be nothing there when you come back in the morning, right? Especially on this car, because you're just going to soak it all up. But in the off chance that there is, you just come in and you just go wipe and it's gone. But again, it's very, very rare that there's any kind of over residue left, but this is why I like to leave it on overnight. It actually gives the leather the time to either accept or reject the product, which is exactly what you want it to do. Because if it starts to slightly reject it in some areas, then you know you've actually, it's got enough protection there, it's already been fed. Obviously this is if you've done this more than once, so if we do this again in 3 months time and it rejects, then I know that this treatment has worked. But again, because we've really degreased the leather, it's going to actually, I know for a fact, it's going to soak this up. But like if you pour water into sand in the desert, it's just going to gobble it up. This leather, as you've seen how dirty it is, probably has never had a treatment like this in its life. Now, on this area already, from my angle, you could see it's just from it going wet, there's the line again, to it being now, it's actually soaked it within seconds. So it just shows you how dry the top coat of the leather actually is, which is a good sign. So again, I'm going to apply this to anything leather, and I'm going to close the doors. So obviously that smell acts almost like a deodorizer, so it's going to fill the cabin with just beautiful leather smell. Especially when you've got a car with so much leather, it's just nice. And then we're going to check back on it in the morning. And then if there's anything, which I highly doubt there will be on the first treatment anyway, you just give it a simple buff. But basically what this does is, especially, so imagine you're coming in from the passenger side, you're gonna first hit it with your right hip, boom, and then your left hip's gonna go boom onto here. So these side bolsters are very high traffic areas. Obviously these, where your back is, so anything really on the seat's high traffic. And the reason why I get cracking is the UV kind of dries out leather and the clear coat. And then because it's dry, it's not supple, a bit like your skin when you've got dry lips. As soon as you tense your lips, it just cracks your lips. Same thing with this, because there'll be no moisture. You sit in it and that top coat just cracks. And this is where you start seeing cracks, especially on these areas of the car. Now, when you put a sealant that is designed to not only protect, but to actually keep, in essence, it moisturized, wet, you know, supple, and you keep on top of it, you know, clean and protect as required, this will never ever fail you. And this is the beauty of a product like this. Now we've developed this for quite a long time. It's not for release yet, so I'm just kind of showing you how we keep leather clean and protected. Again, this treatment's currently done, depends where you live, of course. I can't give you an accurate answer, but in a hot country, you know, Spain, Portugal, once every 3 months. In the UK, personally, I do once every 6 months. Like I said, we do that deeper detail before and after winter. So minimum in the UK about 6 months. If you barely drive the car, probably it's once every 12 months. So that bottle will literally last you a lifetime. And as you've seen, I just put a couple of small kind of pea-sized drops on there. But that's my secret weapon, and people who've sat in well, either this car or my previous cars, have always said, oh, why does your car smell so nice? Obviously 2 reasons. We've got leather treatments on at all times, and we've also got our lemon deodorizer, which is obviously spread into the carpeted area. So I'm about to show you my other secret weapon, which is the lemon. So our final weapon of choice is the deodorizer. It's just a very nice, clean product that, one, has lemon properties in it, so that's whole citrus freshness, and a deodorizer. So you just leave it in there overnight and the car's going to be absolutely smelling amazing. Hey guys, just wanted to jump in. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We've still got obviously the kit out and stuff, all the filming gear. But first ever interior detailing video. Obviously you guys have asked for it for a long time now. That is, I'm gonna shoot another video as well in the future, just my maintenance clean, because this is a bit too deep for some people who do it every week, you know, which is it's understandable. So this is like a once in a, you know, a lifetime really when you buy a new car. But I'm going to do a maintenance interior detail. Obviously, probably on this, you're going to see me do kind of like a wash and chat. Sorry, my hair's all over the joint. I've been upside down and everything. But yes, so a maintenance detail video is going to come up as well on the interior, just how I wipe it down and stuff. So you could see the steps I take to do it kind of every week and stuff. But hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, it's took me all day to do this. I've had customers obviously coming into the shop and stuff, but it's took me all day to do like 2 seats and 2 carpets. So don't kill me on that one. But anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. As usual, kind of let me know your ideas. I'm now using the new lens as well, so as you could see, it's got amazing face tracking. It's nice little aperture in the background there. You can't even see the cars. But new lens as well, so let me know about the video quality, how you kind of liking it, and just obviously share the videos if you like them, comment down below and all that sort of good stuff. But interior's done. I'm going to let it now soak up with all the treatments like I've said, so that's going to be soaking overnight. Obviously I'm just going to close the doors and stuff. Let the lemon and let the leather do its job on the carpets and the seats, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers and have a good day.